Hey, it's Coach Jamila, and I am talking with you today about how to know if you are if you have secret feelings of unworthiness that maybe you're not aware of that are sabotaging you. So, just to let you know who I am, for those of you that haven't met me yet, I am Coach Jamila. I'm a transformation life coach, and I actually serve women who are focused, determined go getters who struggle with feelings of unworthiness or feeling like they're unlovable, and particularly they're unaware of it, right? It's something that's kind of driving their life, but they're not completely aware of it. And in our work together, we not only help to uncover those feelings, but to heal them and then move forward and I help my clients step into their greatness, right? So today I'm gonna be talking with you about 3 ways that you can identify if you're struggling with these feelings of unworthiness. And sorry if I'm a little off. I just ran up the stairs and had my son take his nap and whatnot. So, but I wanted to make sure I got on and went live because it's been a minute. So anywho, so what are 3 ways that you can identify if feelings of unworthiness are secretly sabotaging you? So the first way, or one big way that you can tell, is money. Okay. So how can we tell if we're struggling with unworthiness around money? So I'm quite familiar with all these areas because these are areas that I struggle with personally but was able to overcome. But when it comes to money, ask yourself this question. Am I an underspender or an overspender? I'm going to explain both. So with an underspender, you may feel like, I'm great with money, I'm such a good saver, which may be true, but have you ever gone into the store, filled the basket up with items that you not just want, but items that you may actually need, but you find an excuse and a reason to put everything back and then walk out of the store with nothing? Yes. That has nothing to do with the fact that you are really good at handling money, that you're a really good saver, that you don't spend money frivolously. That has everything to do with your sense of worthiness around deserving, money to be spent on you and you struggling to spend it on yourself. So that's a clue right there that you may have some secret underlying feelings of unworthiness that you're not aware of. I know within myself, I wasn't aware of it because, we're not always struggling with these feelings in every area of our life, right? We might be really great at our job. We might be really great, as a mother, or we might be really great with our talent. Maybe we're an excellent singer or a speaker, whatever. And so we think, hey, I'm confident, whatever. I've got this in the bag, right? But there are these secret feelings there that maybe show up in different areas. And if they're there, trust me, they're sabotaging you. So that first way that I've mentioned is money. So a second area that you can take a look at to identify if you have some underlying feelings of unworthiness, and this is a big one, and this is usually where they show up like a blatant red flag, and that is in your relationships, okay? So here's the thing. How do you allow yourself to be treated? Do you find that maybe in friendships, you are friends with people who take advantage of you, who use you, and your theory is you keep giving them the benefit of the doubt. You keep, I'm just going to love them through it, when they've shown you repeatedly that they're not deserving of the benefit of the doubt because of how they have shown themselves to be and revealed to you that it's not a reciprocal relationship. But your theory is, well, somebody's better than nobody. It's good to, have a friend. It's better than not having anybody. Is that your theory? So if that's how you are in your friendships and your relationships with people, you may find that there is some underlying feeling there of unworthiness going on, okay? Now, what about in your romantic relationships? Well, ladies, if you are finding yourself chasing after a man, you tend to end up in relationships with men who are emotionally unavailable, but you keep trying to prove what a great woman you are, prove how loving you are by just giving and giving and giving and doing and doing and doing and hoping that they're going to give you something back at some point. First of all, that never happens. And number 2, no. If you really knew your value and your worth, you would understand that you don't have to prove yourself to anyone, Okay? The right man will see you for who you are, and you guys can begin a healthy relationship of getting to know one another in a proper way. But when the tables have turned and you're pursuing him and you're constantly, that's not, you have an underlying feeling of unworthiness there that you're not in touch with. Okay? Now, a third way is, are you a bad receiver? And by that, I mean, are you comfortable more in the giving role, being there for people, being the rock, doing for others? But when it comes time for people to show you generosity or to give you gifts, you get really uncomfortable. It is not, you don't like it. You're like, And when someone does do something nice for you, you instantly feel like, okay, how am I going to pay them back? I got to get that thank you card in the mail. You instantly feel a need to reciprocate, as if you now owe them something rather than just being able to receive it and accept it and enjoy, the gift that they've given you or the generosity that they've shown to you. So that right there is an indication that, there's some underlying feelings of unworthiness that you're dealing with there that need to be addressed. And so it's so funny because, they hide, right? They hide within us. It's not like it's blatant. Like I said, you can feel confident in all these other areas of your life, and you can feel like you have it so together in so many different ways. And sometimes we can find ourselves being what I refer to myself is, because, sometimes you'll find people, you'll say, oh, they're such a doormat, right? Well, I was a doormat, but I was a noisy doormat. And so when you're a noisy doormat, that means you make your complaints known and things like that. You think, oh, I'm speaking up, whatever, but you're still the doormat. You're still letting people wipe their feet on you. You still haven't gotten up and moved and taking your life somewhere else because you understand that this relationship or situation isn't serving you, but you won't get up and do something about it. And that's because you don't think you really deep down deserve anything better, or you're just happy to have what you have. I'm just grateful I have this, relationship. Or, I'm just grateful I have this job, even though my boss is abusive and doesn't pay me what I'm worth. But I'm just happy I have a job. And I'm too scared and nervous to apply for a new job or try something new because that would require me to get out of my comfort zone. And oh my gosh, what if I get rejected? And oh my gosh, it might not work out. And so anyway, so those are all the little conversations that are going on in your head and on a subconscious level that are sabotaging you. Because let me tell you something. If you struggle with unworthiness around money, you don't feel like you are worthy and deserving of spending money on yourself. Guess what you're going to fail at if you ever decide to become an entrepreneur? You're going to fail at sales, because how are you ever going to feel comfortable charging someone money and then paying you if you don't even feel you're worth spending money on, okay? Now, you may get it on a conscious level. This is what it is worth and blah, blah, blah. But deep within you, those feelings of unworthiness will sabotage you because that energy can be sensed and felt, okay? Secondly, in relationships, if you constantly are just wide open and willing to accept anyone's attention because you're just happy someone's paying attention to you, and then when you're in the relationship, you're too scared to rock the boat because you don't want to be alone, so you put up with all kinds of mistreatment and emotional neglect. Or if you're constantly attracted to people who are emotionally unavailable and you just feel like you have to beg them almost for their time and attention, that's how that's showing up. There's a sense of unworthiness there. Or again, you can't accept a gift. You can't accept a compliment. When someone compliments you, you immediately follow it up with like somebody says, oh, your hair's so cute. Oh, well, no, honey. You don't even know. And you start immediately nitpicking or breaking down the compliment. You can't just say thank you and accept it and feel like, I guess I am looking cute today or whatever. That's a feeling of unworthiness there. So these are the ways that it's going to show up for you. And if any of what I've said resonates with you, then it's so important, right, that you not ignore the fact that these latent feelings are circulating around inside you, but you have to do something about them, okay? So the first thing you have to do is you have to actually identify and uncover the literal belief. So yes, you may have a general sense of feeling unworthiness, but really, what is the core belief? Is it that I'm not enough or I am worthless? Whatever it is. Because once you identify the core belief, then you can flip it on its head and you can change it and start doing the work to change it. This is one of the biggest things I do with my clients to help them shift their mindset, because as we know, the mind is responsible for everything we see manifesting in our lives. Yes, there are outside circumstances sometimes that can influence our situations, but We drive the choices and decisions that we make by what we feel and think on the inside out. That's what we see reflected in our lives, is the inside out. And sometimes it's ugly and hard to accept, but yeah, we created that, okay? Or we attracted that. And so you have to identify those beliefs, turn them on their head. And then sometimes you can't do it by yourself. Sometimes you have to get help. And that requires humility, because you have to admit that I don't have all the answers. I don't really know how to fix this. And then you have to have enough self-worth to be willing to invest your time, energy, and resources into making the adjustment, recognizing that once you make this correction and you root out these feelings, that your life is going to start heading in a new trajectory. And so you have to ask yourself the question, if I don't do anything about these feelings that I'm dealing with and struggling with, what is my life going to look like a year from now, even a month from now? But if I take the time to do the work and to work with someone who can help me, then what would my life look like a month from now or a year from now? How would it change? How would it be different? See, sometimes we get so caught up in day to day that we stop looking to the future. We stop dreaming, right? And if we don't have something to focus on, something to hope for, then we're just running in place and going through the motions. So this is, like I said, one of the biggest areas that I help my clients with. If you feel like you're struggling with these feelings of unworthiness, you're like, whoa, something she said, that made a lot of sense, but I didn't even know that that was what that was, then absolutely you are welcome to book a free 2-hour powerful coaching session with me and experience, it for yourself, what I have to offer and how I can help you. All right. And I will put the link in the description below for you to book that free call. And anyway, if you have any thoughts, comments, please like, share. And if you're watching this on YouTube, you can subscribe. And anyway, I want to thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you here. For those of you watching live, thanks. And for those of you watching the replay, thank you as well. All right. Take care. Uh-oh.